What's up, everybody? It's Tyler here, and I'm joined again by a great guest. She's put out a ton of songs in the last year. Caitlin Quisenberry joins me. Caitlin, welcome back. How's everything going with you?
Thank you. It's good to be back. Everything's going great.
Hey, it's a pleasure having you back on here. I know it's been a
Yeah.
while. I think it was like fall 2021's last time we talked.
Oh, wow. Gosh, I feel like time is moving so quickly right now. I'm like, where did February go?
Tell me about it. I just had spring break and I had my first classes today, and I don't
Oh,
know
man.
where'd the time go? I don't know.
Yeah, you don't want spring break to fly by. That's something that you want to last as long as possible
You see,
because it's so fun.
it felt like it lasted a while, and now I'm here again, and it felt like I was just in class yesterday. Not fair.
I know.
Well, as I was saying, you put out a ton of songs in 2022, from Christmas songs to pop songs to country songs. Two of the most recent ones I wanted to talk to you about because I thought they have a real cool sound to them. First one was Cowboys Make Better Lovers, and then I wanted to talk about Killing Me Softly. I guess we'll talk about Killing Me Softly first since it came out before.
Okay, sounds good.
So speaking of that song, you put that out as a pop song on streaming platforms, and it's really got this kind of throwback sound that I was mentioning. You don't really, well, you hear a lot of songs these days that are a lot of electronic sounds or things that you would make with a computer and production.
Hmm.
And this song just feels like it was made in a studio that tons of stars would use back in the 80s and 90s. What was that like for you making the song?
Well, I love hearing that because a lot of the inspiration and the people I listen to are, older artists from the 80s and the 70s. And so I think I'm influenced by that sound a lot, but I always try to make it current and make it so that people my age are still interested in listening to it. And so giving it that more of a pop element. But with that song, I really wanted to transform it. And so it actually has a couple of key changes in it. And I really wanted to make it my own since it's a cover song. And so I had a lot of fun in the creative process on that song. And actually, that song was so awesome because a write up came out about it and they tagged Lori Lieberman, who is the original writer of the song. And she actually released the song before Roberta Flack a year prior, and it didn't do super well. It didn't get that many streams. And then when Roberta Flack released it, it went to number one. And so a lot of people don't even know that Lori Lieberman actually released the song first.
Mhm.
And Lori saw the song and she DM'd me on Instagram and she's like, this is so awesome. I've never heard this song done in this way, which was awesome coming from the writer to hear that. And she's like, I have a show in New York next month. I would love for you to come out and watch me perform my version of the song. And so I actually flew to New York with my mom over the summer, and we got to go to the show. And it was so cool because in the middle of the show in New York, she mentioned me and was like, "There's an artist here tonight, Caitlin Quisenberry. Everyone go listen to her version of Killing Me Softly." And so I just felt super honored, and we're really good friends now. We keep in touch over Instagram, and so it's really cool. I had no intention of ever meeting her when I put out the song, but it's really cool the connection and the power that comes from music.
And that's an awesome story.
Thank
There's
you.
so many ways to make connections with people, and that's what music does, and I think it's so cool.
Very cool. Yeah. Yeah. And I think she put out the song when she was in her 20s. And, now she's in her late 60s. So it's really cool the power of that one song over the years and how it's lasted throughout the time. So,
That's
yeah.
crazy. Now, before I
Yeah.
move on to the next song, you mentioned going to New York City. So, as somebody who's grown up their whole life from the close area, what is your favorite thing about New York from a tourist point of view?
Oh, man. Well, I would have to say the food is probably one of the top things. You can literally have any type of food you want, and they do it all very well, whether that be Chinese food or, well, I don't even know if they're that good at Mexican food, but Italian food, they're amazing at.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I would say the food's definitely up there. And then I just love the pace, like the fast pace environment is pretty fun, especially if you're like with a friend who is like a New Yorker and can kind of like show you around the city and you can kind of just turn your brain off. I think like New York is so much fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff that you can do in
Yeah.
such a small area.
Such a small area. And I mean, yeah, I don't even know if I can pick a favorite because then I'm like, oh, and then there's Broadway, which I love going to Broadway shows. I got to go see the new Moulin Rouge show. I don't know if you've seen that yet, but it is so good.
I don't find myself in the city very often, to be honest.
Okay.
As a
Yeah.
local,
Yeah, as a local, you probably stay out
really
of it.
not really too coveted.
Yes, I don't blame you.
No,
It is
I'm
kind of
kidding.
crazy.
It's a cool place. They got great food. Italian food just can't be compared to in New York.
No, and in Nashville, I don't feel like we've quite figured out the Italian food scene yet. I think we're getting there. There's a couple places, but we don't do it like New York.
Well, I can guarantee you that Nashville's Italian is better than Georgia. So
Well, that's good. We'll take our wins.
Georgia might be dead last in Italian out of anything I've tried. And I hope that some New Jersey or New York people come down here and open up a restaurant. I'm suffering down here.
Hopefully, we can pray on it.
Well, I guess I'll move on and talk about the next song, Cowboys Make Better Lovers. Now that you put that out as a country song back in October. And when I heard that song, you did something unique that not many people can pull off. You went to the chorus about 20 to 25 seconds into the song and made the song last for another 4 minutes and did it perfectly. No, I'm serious. That's hard to do.
Thanks. Yeah, that's funny. I worked on that song with my producer Jason Wyatt, and typically when you are thinking about releasing a song and recording, you want to try to keep the song at under 3 minutes. Even 2 minutes and 30 seconds is great now because people their attention span is so short, and you want to try to get as many streams as possible.
Not true.
So, but when I work with Jason, he is never concerned about time. He's like, if it's a good song, people will listen to it.
Exactly.
So, I mean, Killing Me Softly that I did with him, I think that song is like close to 5 minutes, right? I don't know. I think it's like
Well,
4 minutes and
if
something.
people went by those time restrictions, then we wouldn't have those legendary songs like Bohemian Rhapsody,
Hey, yeah,
Sweet Child of Mine,
exactly.
Hope You Dance.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to get your message out in 2 minutes.
It is.
But yeah, no, we never he never makes me feel like I need to worry about the timing of a song as long as it moves and re-engages your ear and changes. Those are our main concerns. So yeah, the song is 4 minutes, but yeah, we try to like make it interesting so that you're not bored after minute three.
I was not bored for 1 second of the song. I can tell you that.
Good. Well, we also actually we brought in another writer last minute, and he made some awesome changes to the song. And he has a lot of sync placement connections. And so he gets about 1,000 sync placements a year, which is a world that I've been trying to get more into just because it's a great source of income. And so he is pitching the song to Yellowstone. So I think that could be a really cool
That would be
sweet
awesome.
spot for the song.
I could
Yeah.
see it happening.
Me too. That would be awesome. I would love that.
I know you mentioned Montana in that song, so
I do. Cowboys, come on. Cowboys make me love
well,
it.
that is another song that's got a throwback sound to it. Um, I mean, you already described why you have this throwback sound to your music, but I just think it's really cool from a listener's point of view to see the artist dive into something that hasn't really been touched on in years.
Oh, I love hearing that. Thank you. Thank you. That's a great compliment.
Of course. And I don't know if anybody's ever told you this, but since you said you love Broadway, I'm just going to go there right now.
Let's go there.
All right. When I listen to your voice, I kind of hear something like a Disney princess mixed with Broadway. Would you ever consider doing that?
I would actually. Um, so so it's funny you say that. I'm actually dating someone in New York, so that's why I keep going back to New York. But I was looking into, I've always been fascinated with Broadway and loved Broadway. But it's just a whole different world with its own set of rules that I have no idea about. Like I don't even know how you jump into that. I'm like, do I need an agent and a manager? How do I go on auditions? And he had a friend who is one of the top producers on Broadway. He casted for Moulin Rouge and for Funny Girl, the new show Funny Girl, and he set up a call for us. He's like, you can just talk to him and like see what he says. So I jumped on a Zoom call with him, and he kind of ran me through like who the best acting coaches are. This is how you audition. And a lot of it is virtual now because of COVID. So that makes it even easier since I don't live in New York. Um, and so it's been something that I've been contemplating. I think that would be just awesome. And not only it's great exposure, you know, you have a whole audience full of people and they now know your name, they look you up, they see your music. So it's definitely something that I could see myself doing one day.
That would be awesome. I'm glad I brought it up.
Yes, yes, yeah, I will not say no to that. So it's just I'm in the baby stages. I really don't know anything about it, but that kind of makes it fun, you know,
Well,
throw yourself into something new.
hopefully it's something that happens down the road someday. But I want to stick to 2023 right now. Two things. One, do you have new music planned? And two, do you have any goals that you hope to achieve by the end of the year?
Yes, so I am always working on new music. I've been writing a lot this new year. Got some really exciting songs. Unfortunately, for the last month, I have completely lost my voice and it's slowly coming back. Even on Tuesday, or last Tuesday, I had absolutely no voice. So this is a big accomplishment right now that I'm even having this conversation. But yeah, so I've had to cancel a lot of my studio sessions, and so I'm hoping to get back into the studio this next week. And um I am working with a couple producers. One is more of like a pop driven producer. And so it's really fun because I bring this country element and then he has all these awesome pop ideas. And so it's been really fun. We're even kind of blending the genre of country and EDM right now. It sounds weird, but it's pretty cool.
No, no.
And then I'm also something that I'm excited about is I want to start putting out some more just raw acoustic tracks with my voice and just really strip everything away. Kind of like a an Ava Cassidy type vibe and redo some covers even. And so I'm working on that with Jason, just doing more. You know how like Tyler Childers, he like gets in the studio and it's just super raw and organic and he's like nose on the grindstone and he like starts playing and then he messes up and restarts. Like I love that raw authenticity. And so that's like one of my main goals is to put out some more music like that as well. So I'm really excited to do that for the very first time.
Man, that's awesome. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice now.
I'm giving it to you. It's contagious.
Through screen, I hope not. Anyway, well, if you guys don't already follow Caitlin on Instagram, and I told you guys last time the interview to follow her. So any new followers here, if you don't follow Caitlin on Instagram, TikTok, the rest of her social media platforms, you should go do that right now. She's got a very entertaining social media page and she's got great music. So go stream her music if you don't already. Caitlin, it's a pleasure having you on here again.
Thank you so much for having me. It was awesome chatting.
Of course. Until next time.